You have a prepaid call from an inmate at Alta, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using.
How you doing this afternoon, Oof?
What's up, Oof?
All right. This is Skinny Rock right here. I want to introduce myself. I want to put my location as we discussed, so there's people out there at least know where I'm at. And I want to speak real briefly about an incident that took place, you feel me, involving, the brothers and the police, and it was a stupid ordeal, right? And it was all over some chicken, Oof. Okay, so my name is Sidney Cooper, number H58566, and my contact information, my address is 480 Alta Road, ALTA, San Diego, California, zip code 92179, and I'm currently incarcerated in Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility. Is there any questions you got for me, Oos?
No, the platform is yours, Oos. You can go ahead.
Okay. So I just wanted to make mention of the fact that since I've been in prison, I've experienced many ordeals. And one of the ordeals that I experienced was very pretty scary for me, right? But it was a time when I went to chow down in Cincinnati State Prison Level 4, and we were in the chow hall, and one of the brothers, he owed the crib. He was drunk up in the chow hall, and that's a violation right there. You're not supposed to be outside your cell drunk or under the influence or intoxicated. You got to be on your toes at all times because anything can happen. But however, the brother was in the chow hall drunk, and he went to grab 2 trays from the window. And so, in doing that, the officer got mad, obviously, because there's an officer at the window, and he's not going to let you get 2 trays. You only can grab 1. And so, the officer tried to snatch the tray back, right? And the homie fired on him. Pow! He hit the cop, right? And so, the cops hit him back, right? And so, now they up in there fighting. And so, the cops, they start running in there, and they start jumping on him, right? Well, in an incident like that, you have an obligation to get in it. And so all of the brothers start getting down with the police up in the chow hall, And so we talking about brothers for dates, because everybody in there ain't got life. You have to do going home in a few months and all that, right? You mess around and catch a case up in there, or if you get shot with that gun or the block gun, you get hurt real bad. So me, myself, because of this obligation, I got in it. And I took my opportunity. I was trying to hit and miss. So I go and I see some cops on a brother, right? I go behind one and I crack one real good. Pow! Try my damnedest to knock him out. Then I get up out of there, then I go somewhere else, I crack another one. Pow! It's called stick and move. And so I did that as much as I could until eventually we was overwhelmed with cops. They sprayed up in there, shot up in there. A lot of brothers got hurt, choking you out, once you get in them cuffs, it's all bad. And I actually ended up getting knocked out. And that's the first time I ever been knocked out. Because, after they got me in them cuffs, they lined me up on the wall, and a lieutenant, white lieutenant, prejudice racist lieutenant, he grabbed the back of my head and smashed me into the wall, It knocked me out. Bam! All I seen was darkness and stars, right? So, I never forgot that moment. I'm lucky, to be alive. I'm blessed, that I'm still here. That's just one battle out of many that I've been through. My mother's no longer here. My auntie, my grandmother, things of that nature. And I've been incarcerated for a few decades now for gang murder. And I've changed, I've learned a lot. I've seen a lot. Been around a lot of strong, positive brothers who have helped me along the way. in prison, And I just want you to know, I want the public to know that everything ain't always bad in prison, even though it's a negative environment. You do have some good souls up in here, some good dudes up in here, who schooled me on being righteous and shooting for better goals, and making something of myself while I have this time left, on the planet Earth. So I'm reaching out now, that I've grown and matured in many different ways. I'm reaching out to organizations or people in general who would like to assist me in changing the hearts of other people, who are lost, youngsters, other adults, you understand, who are lost, who need some support, who need some encouragement, and some motivation to get things going in the right direction. I just like to give it to them the way that it was given to me. I feel that this is my calling, and these people want me to pull another year. After all this time I've been in here, my attorney suggested that I postpone my board date, so these people want me to pull another year, and that was frustrating, but it's been a long climb, and I'm almost at the top of the mountain. So I said, all right, man, I'm going to pull another year, That's what I'm saying, positive. So in this year, I'm hoping to reach out to positive people who's trying to make some beautiful, good things happen and get some people going in the right direction, and I'm reaching out to those who are listening or who are interested in what I'm saying and making this change, with an individual who's living it every day, right? Not just talking about it, part of the struggle, in the struggle, fighting, right? I'm calling out to my brothers and sisters, man, to assist me, in this effort, in this mission, to try to make a change, better my life and better the lives of others. I don't have any family support. I'm looking for friends at this moment. I'm trying to create my own family. And the reason for that is because my brother betrayed me. He went and stole all my money that I was saving. That caused a big rift in my family, right? And they felt that, me being the black sheep of my family, they felt that I was just casting a dark cloud over the family, over something he did, you feel me? And like I said, my mother is no longer here, so I really had nobody out there to advocate for me. So they kind of all abandoned, and that was rough, that was tough. So right now at this moment, what I've been doing is just reaching out to people, all over the world of all races, to see if I can make a connection, man, and kind of create my own family. Now, as far as postponing my hearing, so I've been in here ever since '91. That would be about 30 years old. And so I was only supposed to bring, I had a 20-year life sentence. And so I was only supposed to bring 20, and they let you go, right? But after the 20, I was still around the wrong crowd in prison and living a rough life up in here. And that cost me an additional 10, right? Of being lost, and caught up in the rapture. And so over the last, last 5 years, I started to realize a lot of stuff about myself, and started trying to make those corrections by involving myself in re-entry programs, right? They got re-entry programs, pre-release programs, and they consist of classes, mental health groups, sessions that teach you and school you on how to control your temper, how to breathe, different resources in case you relapse, things of this nature. Very educational programs that they have from doctors and clinicians that they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, to these people to come up in here and get you together and get you right. And they've been working with me, and I've been very receptive to a lot of their schooling. I feel where they're coming from. I understand it, and so what they've done is they provided me with information to transitional housing programs, right? so that when I do get out, let's say I don't have a family, don't have no wife, don't have no girlfriend, but I do have a couple of transitional housing places who are interested, very interested, in bringing me in and having me become part of their program. And then transitional housing, they offer you apprenticeship, mental health support, medical support, boarding, housing, a curfew to keep you up the street. You got to be very disciplined. Job opportunities, necessary schooling and educational programs. They pretty much trunk tight, these transitional housing places and organizations, right? Because they're funded by the state. And so they really don't get paid unless they're successful at helping you succeed and be successful out there in society and strive in life. So I've been blessed to be accepted into a couple of programs that they have out here, a couple out here in San Diego, and I believe one out of LA. So when you're in transitional housing, different housing programs have different setups, right? So one, you'll be in there for anywhere from 6 months to a year. Other ones, you can be in there. They'll holler at you after a year and see if you're ready to go, or if you're comfortable, reintegrating into society. If you're not comfortable at that time and you feel you need more time in the program, to get yourself together, you can do that. But however, you got to, certain places got like a ranch, right? So you gotta go to work on the ranch. You gotta earn your keep, right? And you can work on the ranch and stuff like that until you feel comfortable and you're ready to reintegrate into society. You can take the opportunity to do that. And me myself, I've gotten at all of them, right? And in some of them, they make you sign applications, right? So I filled out a couple of applications, and I've gotten at a few of them, and they've gotten back, and it's been all good.
You have 60 seconds remaining. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Okay. Well, I get you, Oz, and I feel you. If it seems like I shy away from war stories, it's because sometimes they can be traumatic, right? And it's the real deal. It's real life, and I really experience it, right? And so I don't glorify it, right? I'm just blessed that I'm still here, living this rough and tough life, right, that I live. But one of the things, right, one of the reasons why, without going into my case, one of the reasons why I'm in prison is because we had a Mexican and Black war going on long before the '94 law came out, from the Mexican mafia, who put a hit out on all blacks in all the ghettos, especially down in LA and San Fernando Valley. And so we used to get into it. I'm from San Fernando, and so we used to get into it with the Southsiders, the Crips and the Bloods, just to get into it occasionally in the '80s. So I can remember one time I was coming home from the movie theater, the drive-in movie theater, and it was me, and it was my girlfriend, and there was my brother, and we were in this club. We was in a 65 club, and it was hooked up. I had the monster engine, the deep center lines, right, dark blue with the tent and all that. So we was coming home back from the movie, and so my brother tapped the back seat and let me know. He said, "Hey man, I think we're being followed, because everywhere we turned, these lights were behind us, So I said, man, is that right? So I had to...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I had a 360 7 under the seat, you know. And so when I turn off into the residential neighborhood, just to see if what he was saying is true, if it was actually being followed, I could see the lights, right? We were being followed, right? So when I come to a stop sign, the Southsiders, they were in there was an Oldsmobile, a 9.8 jet, right? The big jet, Oldsmobile, and he cut us off, bam. And so we jump out, right, bam, and he had a gun in his hand, right? And so he tried to break the window and was trying to jack me for the bug, right? And because I was black, right, he called me all kind of niggers, mayafes, and all that, right? So what I did was I slammed the bug in the reverse, right? I stomped on the pedal, right? And so I told everybody to get down, right? And so the fool, he bust, right? And so he knocked out the windows, and when we spun out into the main street, you know, in the main traffic, right? Lucky we didn't get in a wreck. And so I straightened the bug out real quick, right? And I tried to get on the 405 freeway, right? So these fools get back in the car in the Oldsmobile jet, and they get behind us. And them fools, they chased us, man. They was busting at us and all that, right? For the bug. And they chased us literally from San Fernando Valley, like Sepulveda, all the way down into Hollywood. Now we in the bug and they in the jet, and we had outran them fools. And after a while, once we got over it got like kind of like a hill in Universal Studios, right? And once we got over the hill there, bam, you know, that's when they gave up the chase, right? And we ended up in Hollywood, right? We went to my aunt's house in L.A. And I parked down in the garage, right? And we all got out of the car, got out of the bug. And we could see the window shot out, you know, the bullet holes and all that, right? And that's about as close to death as I ever got on the streets, you feel me? That's about as close to death as I've ever gotten on the streets. But as far as the penitentiary goes, like in about, I don't know, I think it was about 2014, right? In about 2014, I was upstate at a prison called Mill Creek. And in Mill Creek, they have northern Mexicans up there. And the way they get down is very different than the southern Mexicans. But their whole stilo, their whole culture is pretty much different. You know, they're still indoctrinated in the Aztecian culture and beliefs and stuff, right? But Americanized, or as far as America goes, you know, they live differently. So I got into it with them. You know. The police put me in a cell with one of them, right? And they got what they call the northern front, right? The Norteños, right? That's for northerner, right? Norteños, right? And they got the northern, what they call the northern front, the northern structure, right? The northern structure. And so I was in a cell with one of them fools, and he didn't want me in there. So I told him, you know, give me some time, let me find a spot, you know, with one of the cooler brothers, and I'll find my way, don't trip. But I guess I wasn't moving fast enough for him, right? So one day after yard, I'm coming back, and they had it all set up to get me out of the cell. They was going to jump me on the tier. And so when I went upstairs, right, I was on my upper tier. When I went upstairs, I'm going to the cell, right? You got to stand in front of the door so the officer can crack the door so you can go in, and then he gonna close it, right? So the Mexican guy, he already up there. So when I go to stand next to him, you know, he took off on me. He cracked me, right? Knocked my glasses off and all that. It was pow, right? And so now we up there going down, right? And so as we going down, they got me in the corner. And so as we going down, here come another Mexican cat, right? He get in it, right? Now I'm fighting three, right? And here comes another one, you feel me? And he get in it, right? Now, I'm thinking, and so then at this point they put the day room down. We up there fighting, and it was a female officer, and she threw one in the chamber. Bam! She racked one, bam! And so I don't know if that was the reason why the brothers didn't get in it, right? If they were scared, right, because they were going to get shot, but they didn't get in it. I was literally up there fending for myself, right? So because I do my routine, I work out all the time, right? And you'll see my photo on my podcast. That's not for looks right there. trying to look cute, or none of that, right? That's from discipline. That's for being able to defend myself, to protect myself, to stay focused. You feel me? Through these troubling times, through the struggle, and that's evidence of that. So at any rate, I was fortunate enough, man, to overcome that. I knocked one fool out, bam. I knocked another one out, bam. And the last one was the dude who I was cellies with, right, who kicked it off. And then I was so mad, right, and so overcome with strength and rage that I grabbed the fool, man, and I was going to throw that fool over the tier. And so right when I had him hoisted up over me, right, and getting ready to toss him over the tier, right, she put one in the chamber and had it aimed at me, and she told me put him down. If I threw him over the tier, she's going to shoot me. And I could look in the barrel. I mean, the tower was like a few yards away, right, but I could clearly see that Mini 14. You feel me? And I could see that bullet up in there, put it like that. And that was enough, man, to compel me to put that fool down. And what was frustrating for me, and this is what I'll be talking about with the racism, right? When the cops came in there, they roughed me up, right? And took me to the hole because they said that I was too aggressive. Right? I'm too dangerous, you understand, to be around the other inmates, right? But here it is, these three fools jumped me, you feel me? And so they got me out of there. And now, it's one brother that was on that tier, see, because the story continues to a part 2. It's one brother that was on that tier that did not help me, right? And I know I would have helped him if the shoe was on the other foot, right? But he didn't help me, right? He black, I'm black, you feel me? And he didn't get down, man. So that was a shameful thing. So I come down to Donovan because they done kicked me out the institution. And when I come down here, I see the brother, right? He made his way down here eventually too, right? And so when he comes down, he acts like that incident never happened, right? Hey man, what's up, Ski? Hey, how you doing, man? That was some bullshit upstate, man. You handled your business, you came out of it all right. Well, and I'm saying to myself, but what if I didn't come out all right? What if I didn't have to win? What if I got hurt and I wasn't able to get the fools up off me? I know damn well you wouldn't have got in it. This is what I'm telling myself, right? So he's trying to hang around me and the youngsters or what. And the youngsters, they're like his younger homies, but they got respect for me. They respect me, and we hang out together all the time and all that, right? So they asked me, hey, Ski, how come every time, the big homie come around, man, you shy away, you act like you ain't feeling him, And I had to tell them the truth, man. I said, hey, man, I'm going to tell it to y'all raw, man. I know that's y'all big homie, but image is nothing, man. That fool left me to die, man, upstate. He didn't help me, man, in a melee. When the essays was trying to do me in, he didn't get it. What? He didn't get in it? Nah, man, he left me for dead. So they confronted him with that, and he got mad, He got mad. I'm not obligated to help nobody, this and that, this. So he was mad that I pulled his coat. I pulled the covers off of him, and I revealed who he really was, right? Selfish, scandalous, no good nigga, man, right? And so what he does is he goes and he gets a piece. That's why you got to be very careful in prison, right? Because there's killers around here, and you may think, what y'all argued about or the dispute y'all had, it ain't nothing. But the fool may be thinking, no, it's something. You feel me? And it's an issue he's going to deal with, and that's what it was with me. And so he went and got a knife, and he come to holler at me. And so when I was stepping in the building, right, I was always taught, you look both ways going in and out of the building. So I look to the right when I come in the building, I'm clear. And as I look to the left, I see this fool was like in slow motion. This fool, he was up on me, right, coming at me, and he was swinging that knife, right. He had like a 12-incher. And so I grabbed him down, right, and we started getting down, and we fell off into the rotunda right here. This little hallway before you get in the building, right. And he got me about 5 times, He got me about 5 times, right. One good time in the back, right. He should have killed me, you feel me. But again, due to my working out my discipline and the Lord being on my side, I overcame that too, right? I picked the fool up, man. I don't know where the strength comes from, but when you're fighting for your life, you'll be surprised what you can do. I picked the fool up, and I slammed him right there on the concrete, on his face, on his chest, and then I knocked him out, right? He was up for count, and in a nice cell right there, right? And then the cop come through there making all kind of noise, get out, whoa. And he emptied his whole canister right on me, you know. So I ran out of the building because I didn't want the cop to spray me in my face where I couldn't see, right? Because, you know, I was still in a state of panic, right? And I'm fighting the fool with a knife. So I got to be able to locate that fool at all times, see where he at, right? And you don't want to have the cops.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Because if he sprays you in your face, you're going to be blind. You can't see. So I tried to make it outside. I made it outside. I eventually get down. And all the cops came, right, and they cuffed me up, whatever. And when they stood me up, you know, I was leaking, you know. And the cop looked at me and said, yeah, cool, he got you, man. I said, God, I couldn't believe it. That's the first time I've ever been stabbed in prison. I had been in here 20-something years, man, riots, all kind of stuff, right? And this one...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
He got me, man. But I'm blessed from that. I learned a lot from that. And I'm still here. So that lets everybody, I want everybody to know that I'm here for a reason, right? Here to serve a purpose, man. And I'm looking forward to doing that, Ooze. Thank you for your time today.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And I hope to be hearing from you soon. Thank you very much.